Hello everybody and welcome to my Destiny Hero Deck profile for April 2023. I've been playing this deck for about a week at locals now and just testing it out. This is so far my favorite version of the deck, and there's a regional happening in my city next weekend and I plan to take this deck there and try my luck there. Without further ado, let's get into the Destiny Hero deck. First off, your mandatory 3, 2 malicious, and denier. No explanation needed for that. Next up, the 1 Destiny Hero Dark Angel. Dark Angel is really good right now, especially when paired with Rival of the Warlords, because it negates any spell, and the only spells that have any sort of effect on it is if it's getting rid of it for cost. So Forbidden Droplet or Enemy Controller are the only 2 that I can think of that can out Dark Angel. It's good for playing against Kashtira because they use a lot of spells, and if they have a monster on their side of the field, they can't special summon their Kashtiras. So a very good card. Next up, Destiny Hero Decider. Decider is really good for recovery. He's good for a Cross Crusader target to activate his effect, where at your end phase you get a hero monster back to your hand. So that could be a Stratos, it could be another Destiny hero, and sometimes I like to get Denier just so I can normal summon Denier in niche scenarios to top deck my Malicious again and use that effect once more. It also has another effect that doesn't come up too much, but it has saved me a game against Branded, where they have that, what's it called? Masquerade. The one that deals 600 points every time you activate effect. I use this effect to return Decider to my hand, and it negated his 600 burn damage, and I ended up winning the duel with 600 life points left. I thought that was pretty cool, but it's probably not going to work all the time, but I'm sure you can find other uses for it. Next up, I'm playing 2 Plasma. Plasma just are Floodgate, negate, one-sided skill drain. I play 2 not only for name, but also recovery against Nibiru. If you happen to get Nibiru'd with DPE and wake up your elemental hero in the field, you can pop the wake up and summon a Stratos. Search your other Plasma in your deck, and if you haven't used Denier's effect yet, or even if you haven't normal summoned yet, normal summon your Plasma, take their Nib token, and congratulations, you just survived Nib and turn it against them. My last cards in the Destiny Hero lineup, there are more tech choices, so feel free to replace them or not even play them at all. I like to play Destiny Hero Drill Dark because he's what I like to call a 3rd string normal summon. So for example, if you don't have Stratos or Vion in your hand, but you have this and any of your lower level Destiny heroes, you can summon Drill Dark, activate effects, summon another Destiny hero, link into Cross Crusader, and do Cross Crusader shenanigans, search your Ferris, and continue the play. He's also named for Destiny Draw. Next up, I play Draw Hand. Draw Hand is really good when paired with Droll and Dark Law. I usually use this about every game, and it's just body presence. And these days, hero decks are focused more on Plasma. So if you don't get KO'd on your opponent's turn, you'll have another body on the board as tribute for Plasma. And last, I have been trying this out. I love it. Dasher. Dasher is not commonly played in modern hero decks, but here lately I've been loving it because on your turn, if you draw a monster card, you can immediately special summon it. and it's really awesome when that happens to be a Stratos or a Shadow Mist. Cause it's just a free special summon, and with all these back row heavy decks running around, if I draw a Stratos and I've got like 4 heroes on the board, I'm using his effect to pop back row, and it's just busted in my opinion. And I recommend everybody tries it out. But that'll do it for the how many is that? 10 Destiny Heroes. Next up, for the Elemental Heroes, I'm running 3 Stratos. When you run a very heavy Destiny Hero build, you want Stratos at 3 just for consistency purposes and offsetting the bricks that they do cause. And no explanation needed. 1 Shadow Mist. If I didn't have to play this card, I wouldn't, just because Dark Wall's not really that strong right now. And it's just, if you draw it, it's kind of like drawing Increase. It's basically dead unless you can tribute it off for Ferris or whatever. But even then, it's just kind of, it's kind of a love-hate thing. Then I play the 1 Liquid Soldier. I mean, it's Liquid Soldier. He's basically Graceful Charity for heroes. And that'll do it for my Elemental Heroes. For the Vision Heroes, you play your bread and butter, 3 Strat or Ferris, 2 Vion, and 1 Increase. If you draw it, it sucks. Deal with it. That's all I have to say about that. You can use them for other things. And I play Destiny Hero Dangerous in my extra deck, so if I have him, I'll just use him for material to make Dangerous. And even so, the whole point of this deck is basically to get Plasma out and sit on it. So it's helpful to have a second copy, but I have found that when I play the second copy, I either draw one on my opening hand and it breaks me anyway, or I draw it later in the game and it's not helpful. And the same argument can be said for Vion. Like why don't we play 1 Vion? Well, I can count on both hands how many times I've opened games with both Vion in my hand. It's basically the same argument, but I'm sticking with 1 Increase. So that'll do it for that. And the only hand trap I'm main decking is 3 Droll. Ash is also good for main deck, but I think that right now Droll covers a lot more, especially when let me find it, when you pair him with Draw Hand. So on your standby phase, Draw Hand comes back, you and your opponent draw a card, and since they drew a card, you just draw them. Now they don't even get a search of their own because you did that for them. You set them up for failure most of the time. If it's a Dark World deck, Droll is an auto win, and I don't know about you guys, but at my locals, Dark World is everywhere. Droll hits Kashtira moderately, not great, but it does hit them. And Plunder Patrol, everything. I think Droll is the best hand trap for heroes right now. So that'll do it for monsters and hand traps. Let's go on to spells. Let's get the mandatories out of the way. 3 Hero Lives. I can't roll better. 3 Fusion Destiny. I play 3 D4. Some people play 2. Some people play 1. Some people don't play it at all. But I figured if you're playing Plasma, you might as well have at least one in your deck. I recommend at least two, just to see it more often, but I play three because if I'm forced to fuse away my Plasma or recover it for any reason, I have a way to get back from the graveyard, and these do stack. There was one duel that I can remember where I've actually had 3 D-Force on the field and Dread Decimator, and I don't even remember how high I got Plasma's attack. It was late game, and he went up to, I don't know, it had to be over 6K if I remember correctly, maybe more than that. But lastly, I play 3 Destiny Draw. You know, I main deck in 10 Destiny Heroes. This is really good for setting the graveyard up for their effects, and it'll help you draw into your side deck cards if you need them, or a combo piece. I think if you're playing heavy on the Destiny Heroes, it'd be dumb not to play Destiny Draw. I know some people like to play Emergency Call, but I don't think that's needed for a Destiny Hero deck. Just because you're already running 3 Stratos, you have Hero Lives, all that stuff. You're basically just searching for other copies of Stratos when there's other ways to get them. That ball has her new sleeves are really slippery. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so the other mandatories, Called by the Grave. I had this out of my deck for a while, but I'm realizing now that, you know, everybody's playing Ash, some people are playing Shifter, and this just hits it and says no. I don't particularly like this card. I think Triple Tactics Talent is more versatile. But I don't know, it's just kind of it's a weird situation right now for this card. It would be cool if they put this back to at least 2, but I have a doubt it's going to happen anytime soon. 1 Rhoda. It's Rhoda. What do you got to say about it? I'm only playing 1 Mass Change right now. I think after this format, I might go back up to 3. But as of right now, 1 is plenty. You can search it. 1 Miracle Fusion. Gotta play it. And then I am playing 2 Poly. The reason I'm playing 2 Poly is for reasons I said earlier. Instead of playing 2 Increase, I just play another Poly because I can fuse it away to make Dangerous and continue my play from there. And also, you can get it back with Wonder Driver, but basically you just want to be able to fuse as often as you can. And very rarely does drawing a Poly brick you. But that's going to do it from the main deck. It's a 43, I think it's 43. Yeah, it's a 43 count deck. Wait. No, it's 42, I'm sorry. Anyway, onto the extra deck. I play the 1 Dominance. I only recommend playing Dominance if you're playing Destiny Hero deck. This is your primary Fusion Destiny target if you're going first. I would highly advise not playing Dominance when you're going second, because that's when you want to try to break their board, and DP is the better option. But the main point of Dominance is he's basically the Destiny Hero version of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. The main point is to destroy him with your DPE, summon back 3 Destiny Heroes including DPE, and then on your opponent's standby phase, summon back anybody else but DPE. I was playing Dreadmaster for a while, and when you summon back Dread Master, you're immune to destruction that turn for your Destiny heroes, and you take no battle damage. I haven't been playing Dread Master because I've been playing Dasher, and I think there's more than enough bodies to at least stay alive that turn, but we may go back to that at some point. I play 2 DPE because not only for Diablosis, but there are several times where your opponent is going to get rid of your DPE in some way, shape, or form. Usually they try to banish it, and they go, ha ha ha, yeah, no more DPE. Well, it's kind of funny because I just play Fusion Destiny and get my other one out, and they're like, oh shit. It's kind of fun there. Dystopia. Dystopia is very good for time, but even when I'm not playing in time, I like to summon him anyway, because I have a lot of, I believe the highest attack for main deck Destiny heroes is 1600. Yeah, 1600. So you have 3 options here to burn your opponent for 16. And also, if his attack is different from his original, you know, from like Sunrise or Dynatag or Dread Decimator, you can bring his attack back to normal and pop a card just like DPE does. That does come up quite often. And last for the Destiny heroes, I play Dangerous, like I've been saying throughout this whole video. He's good for unbreaking your hand if you need to get Dark Law. Like I said, the other poly I play, he's good to get rid of that 1 increase you drew, and then use his effect to send another Destiny to the graveyard, and most of the time you're going to have what you need to go full combo. Some people aren't playing this right now, and I completely understand why, but if you're looking for something different and you think it'll benefit you, I recommend playing Dangerous. For the elemental heroes, play Sunrise. He's the one you want to go into first to search for Miracle Fusion, because you want your Miracle Fusion to bring out, wake up your elemental hero. And there's a common misconception about this card. People think that the materials you send, that's how many times you can attack per turn. But I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says right there the number of fusion monsters used for material for its summon. So if you just use Sunrise and we'll say like 5 hero cards, he can only attack once. And I didn't know that until I was at a tournament recently, and I tried to do it on somebody and they happened to correct me on it. But that's that. Escurito, I gotta be honest, I hate this card. It's just, it does nothing. The only purpose it has is to have something to Miracle Fuse after you use Fusion Destiny. And yeah, he just does literally nothing. And I am probably going to cut this at some point. I can't even tell you the last time I summoned this card, because obviously Wake Up is the Miracle Fusion target now. And you want to do that before you use Fusion Destiny ideally. But he's there. Ab-Zero. Ab-Zero is a weird one. When he leaves the field, other than being taken off the field face down, because of that stupid errata that came out a few years ago with the rules, destroys all your opponent's monsters. However, it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes people just negate it, and you wasted a fusion, or a Miracle Fusion, you wasted a poly on this. It's just, I don't know, it's just a weird card. So that's the elemental heroes. Moving on to masked heroes, I am only playing Dark Claw and Blast. You know, obviously, dodging Imperm or Effect Failure with Stratos. And Dark Claw is Dark Claw. He hurts some decks, but I don't know, these days it doesn't seem like he's on the field that long anyway, so it doesn't make that much of an impact. But I'm hoping next format he comes back so I can play 2 again, because we all love Dark Ball. And for the links, 2 Cross Crusader for the grind game. One of my favorite things for Cross Crusader is if they do happen to out your DPE, this can bring back your DPE. It can bring back your dominance. It can bring back Denier, and you can use Denier's effect again. It's just crazy what this card can do. And there have been times where I have brought back DPE after using his effect, and on the following turn, DP's effect will trigger, and I can summon back another Destiny Hero on their turn. And, you know, sometimes that's Denier. And you just stack Denier again, and you just keep going and going and going. It just never ends. The card's awesome. And then you play the one Dread Decimator and Wonder Driver. I use Wonder Driver a lot these days. Ideally, you want to use Wonder Driver when you're about to go into a Sunrise play with Liquid Soldier. You want to reset your poly, draw 2, discard 1, and search for Miracle Fusion. And sometimes if you have a weird field, you can use DP to pop one of your cards. If it's turn 1, turn 0 for your opponent. And on the next turn, DP comes back, and you know you can reset a Fusion Destiny if you want to. I do that all the time. But that'll do it for my main deck. I don't really like showing side deck because it's all dependent on your locals. But 3 Rivalry, just to help solidify the Dark Angel lock, and also Kaijus. And sometimes playing this card alone will just shut a deck down because they need so many different monster types to keep going. 3 Dark Roar no more. I would rather use Forbidden Droplet, but Forbidden Droplet's kind of a weird card to play right now. But Dark Roar, he just hits so many decks. You know, somebody's playing Baron DeFleur or whatever. 3 Ash. Really, the only time I sided my Ash is if I'm playing against Branded to hit Branded Fusion, or Cashier to hit their Cashier Theosis. Pretty standard. Evenly matched. It's evenly. And then last, I play 2 Cyclones and 1 Duster, just for the back row heavy decks, and Cyclone to out Runic Fountain. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you all for watching.